What if I told you that the universe has a special plan for you, especially if you're a Leo? Have you ever noticed that some situations in your life seem to repeat themselves, as if someone were testing your strength, courage, and determination? Well, that's exactly what happens. The universe is constantly sending signs and challenges to Leos. And today you'll discover the 10 signs that show you're going through a very important cosmic test. If you were born between July and August, or if you have strong Leo traits, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to share. These tests are not coincidence, bad luck, or even punishment. They are disguised opportunities for you to shine even brighter and unleash your full potential. But be careful. If you don't recognize these signs, you could miss out on unique opportunities for growth and transformation that the universe is offering you. Over the next few minutes, I'll reveal each of these signs clearly and simply, so you can identify exactly what's happening in your life right now. You'll understand why certain people appear in your path, why some situations repeat themselves, and most importantly, how to use these tests to your advantage to achieve the success and happiness you deserve. Stay until the end because the last sign is the most powerful of all and can completely change your perspective on the challenges you're facing. First sign: leadership challenges appear out of nowhere. Have you ever noticed how situations suddenly arise where you need to take the lead? Could be at work, in your family, or even in a group of friends. It's as if fate conspired to place you in a position of command, even when you weren't looking for it. This is the first and one of the clearest signs that the universe is testing your natural ability to lead. Leos are born with a very strong leadership energy, but they don't always know how to best use this strength. Therefore, the universe creates specific situations so you can develop and hone this skill. Maybe your boss asks you to coordinate an important project, or your family needs someone to organize a special event. Maybe your friends always turn to you when they need to make difficult decisions. The interesting thing is that these challenges appear precisely at the moment you need to grow as a person. It's no coincidence that these opportunities arise when you're feeling insecure about your abilities or questioning your worth. The universe knows your potential better than you do, and that's why it sends you these situations, so you can discover the strength that lies within. But be aware of an important detail: these challenges won't always be easy or pleasant at first. You may feel overwhelmed, afraid you won't be able to handle it, or even irritated by having to take on more responsibilities. This initial resistance is completely normal and part of the test. The universe wants to see if you'll shy away from responsibility or embrace the opportunity to show your true Leo nature. When you accept these challenges with courage and determination, something magical happens. You begin to discover talents you never knew you had, develop genuine self-confidence, and most importantly, earn the respect and admiration of those around you. It's as if an inner light is turned on, illuminating not only your path but also the path of those who choose to follow your lead. Second sign: difficult people constantly cross your path. If you've noticed that lately you seem to be attracting difficult, stubborn people, or people who constantly question your decisions, know that this is no coincidence. This is the second clear sign that the universe is testing your patience, your diplomacy, and above all, your ability to maintain your dignity even in challenging situations. Leos have a generous heart and a noble nature, but they can also be very proud when they feel attacked or disrespected. The universe knows this, and so it sends people who will test these very points. It could be that coworker who always disagrees with everything you say, or that relative who insists on criticizing your choices. Perhaps it's a problematic neighbor, or even a stranger who seems to enjoy being unpleasant to you. The purpose of this test isn't to irritate you or make you suffer, but rather to teach you valuable lessons about emotional control, compassion, and wisdom. Every difficult person that appears in your life is like a mirror reflecting something you need to work on within yourself. You may need to learn to be more tolerant, more patient, or perhaps more firm when it comes to setting healthy boundaries. The biggest mistake many Leos make is trying to overcome these people by shouting, using force, or simply ignoring them completely. But the truth is, the universe wants you to find more intelligent and mature ways to deal with conflict. This means learning to listen without defending yourself, to respond calmly even when you're angry, and most importantly, to not take provocations personally. When you can maintain your elegance and dignity even when faced with difficult people, two important things happen. First, You develop an emotional maturity that makes you much more respected and admired. Second, you discover that many of these problematic people are actually going through their own struggles, and your understanding attitude can even help transform your relationship. It's amazing how a mature Leo can disarm even the most hostile people simply by being authentic and respectful. Third sign. Opportunities to shine arise at the most unexpected moments. Here's something fascinating about the universe's tests for Leos. It loves to create opportunities for you to showcase your talents exactly when you least expect them. It could be a public speaking invitation that comes out of nowhere, a chance to present an important idea, or even a situation where your specific skills are exactly what someone needs to solve a problem. This third sign is especially interesting because it often catches Leos by surprise. You may be feeling invisible, thinking no one recognizes your worth, and suddenly a perfect opportunity presents itself for you to demonstrate what you're capable of. It's as if the universe is saying, "Enough hiding, it's time to show your light to the world." The test here isn't just about talent or skill, but mainly about having the courage to put yourself out there, even when you don't feel completely ready. Many Leos sabotage these opportunities because they're afraid of not living up to expectations, or because they prefer to wait until they feel 100% confident. But the truth is, real growth happens precisely when you accept the challenge, even when you feel butterflies in your stomach. The universe knows you have a natural brilliance that needs to be shared with the world. That's why it creates these situations where you have virtually no choice but to stand out. You might be asked to fill in for an important presentation, or you might be the only person available to lead an emergency. These aren't coincidences, they're cosmic invitations for you to step into your shoes. The most interesting thing is that when you accept these opportunities, even with trepidation, the results almost always exceed your expectations. You discover that you're more capable than you imagined, that people truly value your contribution, and that shining is not only your right, but also your responsibility. After all, when a Leo hides their light, everyone loses. Did you like what you're hearing so far? Then subscribe to the channel, activate the bell so you don't miss any new content, and leave a comment telling me where you're watching from. Your participation is very important to me and motivates me to continue bringing you content that truly makes a difference in your life. Now let's continue with the next signs. Fourth sign. Situations that test your generosity appear frequently. One of the most striking traits of Leos is their natural generosity, and the universe knows this characteristic well. Therefore, it frequently puts situations in your path that test not only your willingness to help, but also your wisdom in knowing when and how to be generous in the most effective way. You may have noticed that lately you've been seeing a lot of people asking for favors, advice, or even financial help. Friends in need may seek your support, coworkers may always turn to you when they need a hand, or family members may constantly rely on your goodwill. This is a very subtle but extremely important test for your spiritual growth. The challenge here isn't to stop being generous, because that's a wonderful quality you should preserve. The test is to learn to be generous intelligently, setting healthy boundaries and understanding that helping isn't always the best way to show love. Sometimes saying no is the greatest gift you can give someone, because it allows them to develop their own strength and independence. The universe wants you to discover that there's a difference between genuine generosity and the need to please or be accepted. When you help someone out of fear of rejection or a need to feel important, that's not true generosity. It's emotional neediness. But when you offer your support because you genuinely want the other person's best interests at heart, without expecting anything in return, then you are expressing your highest Leo nature. Another important aspect of this test is learning to receive with the same grace with which you give. Many Leos have difficulty accepting help from others, whether out of pride or because they don't want to bother anyone. But true generosity includes allowing others to also enjoy contributing to your life. It's a cycle of energy that needs to flow both ways to function properly. Fifth sign. Unfair criticism appears just when you're making progress. This is one of the most painful signs, but also one of the most important for Leo growth. Have you ever noticed that whenever you're doing well, progressing in life, or finally shining as you deserve, people appear to criticize, question, or even try to belittle your achievements? This isn't coincidence or bad luck. It's a specific test from the universe to strengthen your genuine self-esteem. The Leo heart is naturally generous and seeks approval, especially from those they consider important. Therefore, unfair criticism or mean comments can hurt much more than they should. The universe knows this, and that's why it allows these situations to happen precisely when you need to learn to validate yourself, regardless of others' opinions. It's very common for this criticism to come from people close to you, which makes everything even more confusing and painful. It could be a family member who always finds something negative to say about your achievements, a friend who seems envious of your success, or even a colleague who tries to sabotage your work. The test here is to maintain your integrity and continue to shine even when others try to dim your light. The deeper lesson behind this sign is understanding that other people's criticism often says much more about the critic than it does about you. When someone feels the need to diminish your achievements, it reveals that person's own insecurities and frustrations. Happy, fulfilled people don't waste time trying to diminish others' shine. They celebrate others' successes because they know there's room for everyone to shine. The universe wants you to develop such solid self-confidence that you don't depend on external approval to sustain yourself. This doesn't mean becoming insensitive or arrogant, but rather learning to filter the opinions that truly matter from those that are just noise. When you can maintain your dignity and continue to progress even in the face of unfair criticism, you demonstrate a maturity that inspires genuine admiration. Sixth sign. You feel pressured to make important decisions quickly. The universe has a very interesting way of testing Leo's confidence in their own decisions. Suddenly, you find yourself in a situation where you need to make important choices without having all the time you'd like to think. It could be a professional opportunity with a short deadline, an urgent family decision, or even a life change that came out of nowhere and requires a quick response. This sign is particularly challenging because Leos, despite being naturally courageous, also like to feel secure before making important decisions. When the universe accelerates this process, it is testing your ability to trust your intuition and inner wisdom, even when you don't have all the information you'd like. Interestingly, these situations often arise at transitional moments in your life, when you're ready for a new level of growth, but perhaps don't yet consciously realize it. It's as if the universe knows you're ready to take the next step, even if you still have doubts about it. The test here is learning to balance prudence with courage to act. It's not about making impulsive decisions without thinking, but rather about trusting that you have more inner wisdom than you realize. When you stop searching for the perfect decision and start searching for the right one for this moment in your life, everything becomes clearer. Time pressure often reveals your true priorities and values. When you don't have much time to analyze, your mind goes straight to what really matters to you. It's a way for the universe to help you connect with your essence and make decisions aligned with who you truly are, not who you think you should be. Seventh sign. Family responsibilities increase significantly. This is a very common sign in universal tests for Leos, and it usually appears as a sudden increase in family responsibilities. Suddenly, you become the go-to person for problems, important decisions, or support. Your parents might start to rely on you more, siblings might constantly seek your advice, or you might become the organizer of all family events and gatherings. Leos have a natural protective energy, especially toward the people they love, and the universe uses this to test their ability to serve without sacrificing themselves. It's a fine line to walk, because the impulse to help your family is beautiful and important, but it can become a burden if you don't know how to set healthy boundaries. This test has several layers of learning. First, you learn about true family leadership, which isn't about bossing others around, but rather inspiring, supporting, and creating harmony. Second, you develop the ability to resolve conflicts and mediate delicate situations. And third, you learn to care for others without forgetting to care for yourself. The most common mistake Leos make in these situations is trying to solve all the problems themselves, taking on responsibilities that aren't entirely theirs. The universe wants you to understand that being a family leader means teaching others to be responsible for their own lives, not shouldering all the problems on their shoulders. When you find the right balance in this test, something wonderful happens. Not only does your family become more united and harmonious, but each member also becomes more independent and confident. You become the family member everyone respects and admires, not because you solve all their problems, but because you inspire everyone to be better versions of themselves. Eighth sign. Situations that test your patience with results constantly appearing. One of the most important lessons the universe tries to teach Leos is divine patience, especially when it comes to seeing the results of their efforts. You may have noticed that lately it seems like you're working hard, dedicating yourself intensely, but the results take longer than you'd like to appear. This is the 8th sign that you're being tested. Leos are naturally ambitious and enjoy seeing tangible progress in their projects and dreams. When results are slow to appear, it's easy to start questioning whether you're on the right path, whether it's worth continuing, or whether you should change your strategy. But the universe knows this Leo impatience and uses it as a tool for growth. The test here is to learn that not everything in life works in its own time, but rather in the right time. There is a subtle but important difference between these two perspectives. When you want everything in its own time, you are trying to control the universe. When you trust in the right time, you are collaborating with the greater forces that govern your life. During this waiting period, the universe is working behind the scenes to align all the necessary conditions for your dreams to come true in the best possible way. Sometimes you need to acquire certain skills first. Other times, certain people need to appear in your life. And in some cases, you yourself need to mature emotionally to be ready to receive what you desire. The great lesson from this test is to develop active, not passive, patience. This means continuing to work, dedicate yourself, and improve while waiting for results. It's different from sitting around doing nothing, waiting for things to magically happen. When you align action with patience, the results not only arrive, but exceed your original expectations. 9th sign. You attract people who need inspiration and motivation. This is one of the most beautiful and significant signs that the universe is testing your potential for positive impact on the world. Have you ever noticed that people constantly appear in your life who are going through difficult times, who have lost hope, or who simply need someone to believe in them? This is no coincidence. It's the universe recognizing the natural light you carry within. Leos have a very special energy that can rekindle the flame of hope in people. It's as if you were human beacons, able to illuminate the path of those lost in the darkness. The universe knows this and constantly sends people who need exactly that energy you possess. The test here is learning to be a source of inspiration without becoming emotionally drained. It's very easy for a generous Leo to become so involved in other people's problems that they end up carrying burdens that aren't their own. The challenge is finding ways to inspire and motivate people without taking on the responsibility of solving their own lives. When you can be a positive influence while maintaining healthy boundaries, two important things happen. First, you truly help people find strength within themselves, which is far more valuable than solving their problems for them. Second, you develop a deep satisfaction that comes from knowing your presence in the world makes a difference. This sign also reveals an important truth about your life mission. If people constantly come to you in need of inspiration, it's because you have a higher purpose related to inspirational leadership. The universe is preparing you to impact more lives, perhaps through your work, your relationships, or even a calling you haven't fully discovered yet. 10th sign. Unexpected changes force you out of your comfort zone. This is the most powerful and transformative sign of all. When the universe truly wants to accelerate a Leo's growth, it creates unexpected changes that simply cannot be ignored. It could be a professional change you hadn't planned for, the end of a significant relationship, a move to another city, or any situation that forces you to rebuild important aspects of your life. For Leos, who generally enjoy stability and control over their lives, these forced changes can be very uncomfortable at first. You may feel anxious, fearful of the future, or even angry at life for messing up your plans. But the truth is, these changes are gifts in disguise from the universe. The ultimate test is learning to trust the process of life, even when you can't see where it's taking you. It's about developing a genuine faith that the universe has better plans for you than you can even imagine. This requires a level of spiritual maturity that only develops through experience. These forced changes often happen when you're ready for a new level of life, but are unconsciously resisting evolution. It's as if the universe is saying, "Don't you want to leave this situation of your own free will? Then I'll give you a little push." And that little push, however uncomfortable it may be at the time, almost always leads to something much better. The secret to successfully navigating this test is to embrace uncertainty as an adventure, not a threat. When you can maintain an open mind and a trusting heart during periods of great change, you discover inner resources you never knew existed. It's in these moments that Leos truly display their courage and nobility of spirit. Now that you know these 10 signs that the universe is testing you as a Leo, it's important to understand that these tests are not punishments or unnecessary hardships. These are cosmic opportunities for you to develop your full potential and become the highest version of yourself. Every challenge that appears in your life is a chance to prove yourself. Every difficult person is an opportunity to practice compassion and wisdom. Every unfair criticism is a chance to strengthen your genuine self-esteem. And every unexpected change is an invitation to discover possibilities you never imagined existed. Always remember that you are a Leo, and that means you carry within you the strength of the king of the jungle, the generosity of the sun, and the nobility of someone born to lead and inspire. The universe wouldn't give you tests you couldn't overcome. In fact, it only challenges you because it knows exactly how powerful you are. Starting today, when you recognize one of these signs in your life, instead of feeling overwhelmed or irritated, celebrate. Because it means you are evolving, growing, and getting closer and closer to your best version. The universe believes in you, and now it's time for you to believe in it too. If this content resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new content. And tell me in the comments, which of these 10 signs have you noticed most in your life lately? Your experience can inspire and help other Leos who are watching. Until the next video, and remember, you were